pissed, bro.
Actually, yeah, can we start that over? Because I was still touching my ankles.
We good.
I'm pissed, bro.
Hey guys, what's up? This is episode 3 of the Whatever Podcast. It's the show where we talk about
whatever. We're here with a lot more Trilla G ENT members, so let's get some introductions going on.
Hey, yo.
Go down the line.
You down the line? Cool.
Hey, my name is Marcus Whitman. I'm here with my friend. Talk about whatever. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying?
DJ extraordinaire.
DJ boy over here.
DJ
you know what I'm saying?
Cruz.
Come on.
Yes.
What's up, people? It's your boy, Bradford Grant, aka Lexi, aka Don. Teachers remember, Trilla G ENT co-founder. Was good. Finally here. We made it. Gang, gang.
I know. What's up, y'all? Michaela Venture. I draw and paint.
She draws, yo.
Artist extraordinaire.
Artist.
Working name, designs by Mac.
Oh,
yes.
hold up.
But
We working on it.
Work in progress. Yo, what up?
Oh.
My name is Angelina Garola. My artist name is Motion.
Motion.
crazy.
I be making beats and all that.
She do that.
She be cooking up. She be cooking up in the pot.
Yeah, I just came from a live stream, so.
Oh! Hey, we got some in our shit, y'all.
So, what happened to the live stream?
Yeah, let's talk about that, yeah.
It was nice. Sometimes I tell people in advance I'm gonna do them, but today I was just like, you know what? I'm working. I might as well share it with people. And it helps me to get more comfortable talking to the camera because I'm super anxiety. So this helps.
Hello.
Yeah, but it's nice because I can just talk through my process, answer people's questions, and they see the stank faces I make while I'm making my music. Which is always nice. Yeah, it's just it's super authentic. I keep it real 100%. So.
That's
Always.
Always.
And you just got back from abroad, right?
I did. I was in Cape Town, South Africa for 4 months.
South Africa, shout out South Africa.
And then you've had a really good last few months, right? Your Instagram page is blown the fuck up.
I don't know how.
Skyrocketed.
Literally just one day I woke up to all these notifications and I was like,
DMs.
oh shit.
Your DMs are open, but only for men and people in general that are.
Yeah, I kind of had to
looking
go
for good
off.
things.
I had to kind of go off today. Some inappropriate content. Not everybody was a fan of what I had to say today. But that's okay.
But I mean, it's necessary sometimes, right?
It's so necessary, and I'm not gonna
boundaries, you know what I'm saying?
boundaries are super important, and I'm not a sex figure, nor am I your therapist. Just because I don't know, I'm nice and responsive, and I'm a woman. People think that it's appropriate to talk about their breakups with me.
Oh my God. What does that got to do with music?
Nothing. Nothing to do. Yeah, so I kind of, today I made a post and I was super clear, yo, I am not here for that. Just because I answered your message once doesn't mean that you're entitled to my time, energy, and resources.
Yes.
2019,
That's the energy.
And even I got some backlash from that. So today I'm just you know what? It's not about that. It's not about the numbers. It's not about I don't know. It's for me. This is about the music, and I don't need to give my time and energy to people who are really just trying to suck things from me. So.
Y'all hear that? Can we run that back?
The suckers suck.
Thank you for being here and sharing time with us. And you have this platform so you can share it, and hopefully everybody else that's out here listening, you take that into account. Really respect people's space, even though you have the lens of the camera and all this technology between you, people still feel that. So
people are human, you know.
We're
human.
People are human.
Know your words, set your standards. Yeah.
But on a positive note, Motion makes some of the dopest beats on the team. So we're gonna put the Instagram. So everybody's Instagram's here.
Mine's right here.
Check it out.
There.
Also, album's coming out probably a month.
Album dropping.
No, wait, I wanted one of y'all to run off stage
Damn, Meryl Roy.
That's called committing to a concept.
I might be an actor soon, so hey, look out.
And actually, I got my EP coming out. Collaborating with her.
Whoa.
Pleasure working with you.
Yeah, no, she's a dope producer. I also got some beats with Vic coming out, and some of my own too, and then also a friend back home. So we got a lot of projects coming out really soon.
What's the timeline on that?
Timeline for my EP, what we say? We said March. We said March.
March.
Yeah.
Okay.
March Madness.
Big take.
Yeah.
Big take.
Okay.
We was that Mayish, Aprilish?
Probably beginning of May. Yeah.
You have a working title for the EP?
I actually do. I was gonna get to that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get it.
Tell
All
me.
right. Live and maintain.
Dang.
Live in Maine.
Live and maintain.
I just gasped.
So like, inspiration for that. Oh man, where'd it come from? I heard it. Yo, Paid in Full. I watched the movie over break, and I was just like, while I was doing the creative process, and I was like, yo, that really hit my head nerve with me. So I was like, yo, this is really what it is. Like, live and maintain. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the, equilibrium, staying in balance, right? And just like progressing from there.
So if I may ask, like, for all of the artists here, everybody here, you know what I'm saying? What is, I guess, how does art and being creative help you live and maintain? So, anybody?
Like that?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just throw it up. Somebody catch it.
Got it.
Oh, she got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Ask you.
Let's take note of that. But anyway, so how does art help me maintain? To be honest, it's just like a release, I guess, at this point. I have my own studio now in the bag, in case y'all didn't know, because I put it literally everywhere. But I'm just trying to, like, create stuff, and then, like, if I ever get, like, in that mindset of, like, I don't even know what I need to do right now, or, like, if I'm just in a mindset that's just, like, let's do something, I'm like, let's go create. So I go to my studio, I grab all the paints that I can, and just some canvas, and go at it. When I don't have a plan in mind, that's probably where my best stuff comes from. But I also really enjoy collaborating with people that tell me what to do, so that I have not as much confusion as I'm creating, like, where the heck is this going? So I appreciate everything that y'all do and what you do. And but I also just like love being in a creative space. Like I just love the feeling of like making something that like I know is meaningful to me, and then I know that other people are gonna be like yo, like that's dope, and I'm like but
I guess I'll take it. So question being, how does
art and being creative help you live and maintain?
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the whole process of like writing and music, like that basically is like a replication of my life and like my life story, right? So when I'm going through new like challenges or new experiences, like I try to like hint at those in my music. And one thing about me when I write, I don't like being overt with like my lyrics. I like to throw a lot of like underhanded like kind of like references. And only people that have either know me very, very well, like these guys right here, or just like people that are very artistic in general and can pick up on that kind of stuff will know what I'm talking about. So I try to like have my lyrics reflect what's going on in my life. And then one thing that I think about a lot is like lyrics that I wrote a long time ago and never got to produce. And when I go back to them, and like it's kind of like looking at a page in a history book, right? Because I was in a totally different mind space at that time, and it reflects a totally different individual of who I was artistically, stylistically, and just as a person in terms of like my growth. So I feel like that's one of the ways I allow that to permeate my life.
I'll take it. So I'm a DJ. Y'all know I like DJing. I'm all about the beat. I've been on a discovery of where my art lies, and it's kind of like embracing the beat to the point where I feel I can see the colors of the beat. I know that's like the actual condition for some people. I see it as a gift, people.
Not for real, that's a thing.
You can see and relate to it in a way that just helps you get so in tune with your emotions, so in tune with the people in your lives, and like you can actually see what songs relate to you. You know, sometimes it'll take just the first 20 seconds of the song. You just like, damn, that's it.
That's it. That's the one.
That's it.
You're right.
Yeah. For me, art is one of the big things in my life that just makes me happy, and I think, going like since my college career, I'm trying to figure out like what is I want to do with my life, and then I found art, and I was like, this is like the thing that makes me happy, what I want to do, and it keeps me sane in this like stressful environment that is Davidson College. And without it, life is not as interesting. It's just like, it's just very boring, and everything feels like slower when I don't have it. That's why I'm always like carrying like my headphones with me. Like I'm always got my iPod and everything. Like because I need music, otherwise it's just.
And because he has an Android.
Come on, Android gang. What's good? We stand strong. Come on, stay strong. iPhone gang, bro. I see you, bro. I see you, bro.
So good.
What?
It's okay. We love him.
Are you not the first
But yeah, no, for me it's just all about happiness, and this is what makes me happy. So I only want to do things in life that makes me happy. So I just like love immersing myself into art, working with other people who are like-minded and also artistic, and then them teaching me things, and I get to teach them some things and make something like totally new, and it's just great. It gives me confidence, and yeah, it just like helps the soul. That sort of thing. That's what I was saying. So I'll just
That one hit.
toss it.
Oh,
Motion.
all right.
Oh, interception.
I was like,
Good throw, man. All right. I've always been a very emotional person, and like, I think in terms of like reconciling with like the struggles of mental health, especially on a campus like Davidson, like music has probably been one of the only things that has helped me cope and channel a lot of the things that have been really overwhelming in my life. Like I'll be like, if I go a couple days without like sitting down on my computer making music, like I can feel like anxiety like growing in my chest, and then like I'll sit down to work for a couple hours, and even if I still like hadn't done any of my homework or something, I just feel like a weight being taken off of me, like after I've made something that was, like inside of me, and like I almost never know what I'm making when I sit down. Like it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's really magical, I think. I used to think that I was going to be like a jazz pianist. In high school, yeah, like I've always composed piano music, but like in high school I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a jazz pianist. That never happened, but because I think I was like pressuring myself to fit in a mold that I just like couldn't fit. Like I was trying so hard to make my music sound a certain way and sound like somebody else, and it became a toxic thing to the point where I was comparing myself to my peers in a way that wasn't healthy, and then I was like, God, why am I even doing this? Like, does this make me happy? Does this make other people happy? And like, yeah, the switch to production was like super intuitive and super natural, because like now I can do whatever I want. I can literally do whatever I want. And the beauty about composing instrumentals specifically is that I think that there's a power in music that transcends words. And I think it's also really interesting when I then work with lyricists and they kind of put words to the thing that I've made. That's also very beautiful. So like I'm really happy to have collaborated with people here, and will be continuing to collaborate in the future.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Thank
One of the
No.
your beats are great.
Like I remember first talking to Angelina during Stride. I think it was either my junior or sophomore year.
When we had hookah.
Oh.
Yo, I forgot about that. Yes, because I was here with most definitely. That was great. That's the first time I actually sat down and talked with Maurice.
Wait, this past Stride or the one before then?
I was talking about last
freshman year.
Stride.
I was talking about which Stride?
I'm talking about
Sophomore Stride.
my freshman year
Your freshman
Stride.
year.
When we
Okay.
were entering, yeah.
No, I was there.
You're a sophomore
Okay.
then.
No,
You're
so
I'm a
both
junior.
mentors.
What?
No, I'm saying you're sophomore year.
No, my freshman year was the first time we met.
oh.
But no, I mean when we first talked about producing.
When we first talked to Angelina in general.
No,
Okay.
I meant producing. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start with yeah, I think one of the really cool things I remember first talking to you about production, and you mentioned to me you wanted to start producing. I was like,
Well, I didn't know anything then. That's so funny.
yeah, it was. I was like, you know what? Nah, you play. You're jazz trained pianist. I would say. Battle of the Bands when you played, you were phenomenal. I remember that specifically. And I was like, no, I think you'll be good. Like all it really is is transposing what you do already and just adding a beat to it. Because if you know Zaytoven, and his production is literally just like he adds like a hi-hat, kick, and a bass, and he just plays piano and like he makes hits. So that's what that's his production style. So I feel like when you embrace that and you really like recognize that, and then you got sampling, which I love sampling, shout out, and lo-fi, like it's one of my favorite like very chill genres.
man.
It
Oh,
fits
that's
you
my favorite
like perfectly, and you just perfected your craft. And like I'm glad to see
Okay,
you
spotlight over here.
excel at such the level that you are, you know, right now. And I'm really excited to be working with you because you know the beat is powerful. The beat, when I hear a beat, like it brings out the lyrics out of me. And I tell Vic when every time he plays a beat, I'm like, I want this, and I already got. I'm
Yo, can you freestyle my live Thursday? Because I'm gonna be performing one of the ones I made for you.
Wait,
Wow.
which one though?
Sun Shower. I'm opening with that song. That one I'm opening with that. It's like strong.
You don't know what's gonna
enough
happen
to
on the
be
show.
Yo, what's happening here?
So
I don't know
what's the date for this show?
March 28th.
March 28th,
March
live
28th,
Thursday, pull up to
live
Davidson
Thursday.
College, know what I'm saying?
What I tell everyone is come lit, whatever that means to you.
We're not endorsing anything.
No.
now.
I am.
We are.
They are.
We aren't
I'm a
endorsing
senior.
anything.
We aren't endorsing anything.
We are.
No, it's gonna be.
Don't, yeah.
I'm
Don't
using
do that
these
at all.
visuals from this artist who makes like light projections, and I'm gonna put them on the screen behind me, and I guess it'll be on my face as well. Taking away all the chairs, so it's gonna be like I'm
So
gonna
you
have
have your
y'all.
own chair.
I am gonna have y'all in my. I'm gonna have y'all in my musical grasp for 1 hour.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. So if you want to, you don't have to. Don't feel
Freestyle.
pressure, but like.
Cause I mean, I
yeah.
wrote that song, but it's a duo. It's like alternating, like I told you. So I mean, like it'd be hard, but the other
You
beat,
don't have to. What's the other one that you
5 a.m. If I write that,
I don't know if that one's. I haven't solidified my set list yet. I don't know if
I
I'm
gotta play
performing
it.
that
I'm gonna
one.
play it and go over it, and
Okay.
then I'll perform that one if I get lyrics for that.
Okay, I'll let you know. I'm still solidifying.
This is the
my set
process. This is how it happens naturally.
The
Organic.
magic's happening.
Magic.
Yo, and speaking of shows, we have a show coming up April 13th.
Oh,
right?
wow.
13.
On your calendar.
And it's not just us. We got artists coming in from Charlotte to
Charlotte.
collab with us.
Oh
and,
wait, we're talking about Fringe.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, Fringe
We
Festival.
talk about Fringe Festival.
Oh, the
Is that what it
Fringe.
is?
Yes.
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 Oh,
Fringe
I am
Festival.
so excited.
Y'all,
Mhm.
put it on your
Wow.
calendars. Save the date, all right?
Mhm.
Finna
We're
be
gonna
lit.
put it on the description.
Yeah, we're gonna put that.
Put in the description below.
Subscribe, like, share.
Oh,
Right,
before we
so
forget, let's talk about what we just did like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, we just saw the
What did you
music
do 30
video.
minutes ago?
We
I don't know,
shot
tell us.
this man's first music video, solo music video for his track Hypnotic off of his first solo mixtape, Legacy of Polo Don.
Let's get it.
Yo, tell me how did that feel like when we like filming and everything, the whole process?
I think what was the most jarring aspects of filming was like having everyone on me.
Yeah.
And like I'm a very humble person. Like y'all know, like I'm very much like I'm very modest. And since like I was young, like I played piano for like 10 years maybe. And like even after the performances and whatnot, like people, oh, so good, and like I'd be like, oh, thank you, yeah. I would never be like, oh yeah, like of course, like, you know it's good. So it was never like that. I was just like, oh, yeah, thank you. So I've always had that modest nature, and then just like having like a spotlight on me and like all the cameras looking at me, it was just like, wow, this is crazy. You know, it's like having everybody look at me. But I was just like, okay, once I got a feel for it, and I really like got used to the energy, and I was able to, okay, I can do this, I can do that, you know, do these hand gestures, make this kind of face. You know what I'm saying? It became natural for me at that point, so I really enjoyed. That was like one of the biggest things I was kind of thinking about the whole time. But yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it.
In addition to this being his first music video, it's also Michaela's like debut as a cinematographer.
Let's get it.
So what was that like, Michaela? Like,
Bruh, that was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was just really exciting to like have a camera in my hand and like, I don't know, just like watch it all unfold. And it was kind of crazy because like sometimes like I guess depending on the perspective that you have, like things can seem like a movie already. So like, you know, like those moments when you're just like sitting on a bus and like it's raining and you're like,
oh gosh, so
yeah,
many
like
3 hours of public transportation a day in high school, so I totally
I know what
So
you
you have a lot of
mean.
experience.
You're like totally up in your fields looking out the window.
Yeah, and then like the right song comes on and you're like, yes.
Let the rain fall.
Yeah.
Good old
So-
CTA Marcus
Right.
Hills.
So like I was just happy to actually like see it unravel and then just to be on the side of like watching it go down. Like I could just like see the clips that I know would be like really great and then like the clips that I was like, ugh, that was ugly, but we're gonna move on. And just like the little accidents that happen that are just like spectacular. I'm just like so excited that like I got to do it and like thank y'all for like trusting me. But yeah, I'm just so excited to like see it come together. And also, I had to let Bradford know that some of those pictures that were taken are going to be painted because some of that lighting was fire.
Yo, she's a great painter. I've seen her work, self-portraits, like, bar none.
Fresh.
That's where you gotta go.
Make me some track art at the end of the season.
I would love
Collaboration.
to. Wow!
Wow. We can do a time check. How's everybody doing on time? Because I know some people.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we're early.
I'm chilling.
10:38.
Let's go.
All right,
Keep
let's
going.
Oh,
Oh,
let's go.
Let's see.
We don't talk
Vic,
about
do you want to talk about how you art helps you live and maintain? I don't think we got to you.
oh yeah, we
You
did
did
it.
it. You slide.
Somebody thought of me. Somebody thought of me.
Oh, she had it last.
She had it last.
Oh, pass it.
Oh.
You got it.
So live and maintain as far as like art and creativity. I've been drawing since I was 4, but I've always like dealt in like a whole bunch of different mediums. So like oil pastels, watercolors, acrylics, try oils.
Talented.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, I remember just like when I first started like getting into music, I remember I would like save like the oatmeal cans, like fill them up with water at different levels and like use them as drums. So I always like really loved music. But like it just always evolved into something different. Like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to try that. Even though I wasn't the best at it, I felt like I had this space where I could just really express myself, not be graded on it and say, oh, your value is based off of, I guess, this letter grade because that's a lot what you get in school. So being able to come home or like being able to be in art class or school and just like go hard on the page or the canvas or whatever medium I was presented with, it really afforded me the opportunity to just say, yeah, this is me like raw, this is me like up front, and like I'm presenting that to you, my audience. Coming here and just like really blossoming in terms of like music production, rapping, poetry, just like collaboration, starting the business Trilla G ENT, and like coming across so many talented individuals, like y'all really pushed me at like this is what I love to do, like help establish places so other people can come feel like they have a space and they have a niche, even if they feel like, you know, because I didn't feel like I had a niche here, but like I met Bradford and Lawrence and we got to making music, got to rapping, and we was like, all right, this is where I knew this is where I belonged, because I just had them pushing me, and as I met more people, I just knew more and more people were pushing me, supporting me, and you know, just seeing the connections that everybody makes, saying, oh, you do that, let's work together, let's make something incredible. I just know it's making history. Even if the history is like presented to 2 people, like it may mean something to those 2 people, and that's why I create, because you know I get to tell out my story, and I know down the line it may have some effect. So yeah, I love it. I love it.
And we've made history. Let's like make that clear. Like,
We've made
this
history.
This
Don't
is not
get it
something that
twisted.
happens. This has never happened before. I don't think
Don't
like on
get
the
it
scale of
twisted.
stuff that we're doing, and it's like everyone should feel proud about that. You know, this is like really big and it's huge, and I'm like so proud of everybody here. It's great to see how far we've grown. I've known this man since July experience, and it's like, you know, this was like when I was 16, and just to see like the growth and everybody in this room is really amazing.
Yeah, you think we could get a flashback of 16-year-old Lawrence, like
Oh.
right here?
Drop it.
Yeah.
Go on through.
Little music video.
Yeah, what happened? Yo, he witnessed my first performance like ever. So
You were there
for
for jump
yeah.
before you
That
were.
was
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Right here.
How was that, Marcus? How was that
Young
performance?
Brooklyn, man.
BK boy.
He's on fire then.
How did it feel when you first performed for July Experience?
Oh my gosh, man! I was terrified. Like my heart was beating like 200 miles per hour. It was insane. Like there was like a walk up to the stage. I'm like at the back, and they're like, "Hey, just like give us your phone, and you know, like we'll play the music for you." There's this long walk, and everyone was like talking about this for like the last 2 weeks, because like I got roped into it. I did it for this girl who I had a crush on in the program,
Of course.
and it was I was talking to my friend, and we were joking about like doing something for the talent show, and then she overheard it, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna be rapping?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be rapping." Oh yeah, I'm rapping. You know, I've been doing this forever. And then I went back to my room, and I was like, "Why the fuck did I do that?" Because she told everybody, and they're like, "Yo, I heard you're gonna be rapping for the talent show." I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I have nothing on the page. Never done this before. Insane." But like the whole process of like writing it down and like finding the right beat. It was Jay-Z, Kanye West, Welcome to the Jungle beat, that instrumental, and you know, writing to it and getting the words right, and then like I practiced it so many times. Like I think I said in the first episode, like 200 times, maybe, like no joke, because I was just like, I didn't want to fuck up because I knew everybody was gonna be there, she was gonna be there, and I was like, this has to be perfect. So leading up to it was crazy, and you know, but getting on the stage, like heart's beating really fast, but after like the first like 10-15 seconds, like all of that just went away, and I just got lost in the music, and when it was over, everyone was like clapping and cheering, and they were like feeding me energy. I was feeding off of that, and after it was over, it was like this crazy high that I've never experienced before in my entire life. And when I went into the corner to kind of like decompress, I was like probably one of the happiest moments of my entire life. And then it unlocked something in my head, because when I got home, I started writing like crazy. Like I couldn't stop writing. It was like, I was like, yo, it's all the stuff I want to say, and like this is like what I need to, you know, feed into it. Unfortunately, like I was like still in high school at the time, and people already had like an idea of who I was, so I didn't really feel like that support going into it, and I didn't really like pursue it. I was doing it like on the low. I did like a couple of like Facebook videos, and I shared it with the group and everything, but you know, old school stuff. But then, you know, like you said, meeting Victor and Bradford, that was like, that's what pushed me, and I knew that I had a place here, and I wanted to just keep going. And then we just met other people, and now we have like this whole team. It's fucking amazing.
No, that like really resonates with me, especially like the nerves going into live performance, because like I'm right now in the middle of, because March 28th is like a long time away, but I know that I'm gonna run into a lot of problems before then. So I'm like in the middle of arranging all the tracks that I'm like putting together for this like hour-long performance into Ableton Live sessions, and you know, like mapping the knobs and stuff, because I don't want to be the type of producer who just like clicks a button and just like watches their song play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like no, like I want to be in there like mixing and doing cool stuff, you know. But like in my head, like there's just like so much fear about like the fact that like I know everybody at this school who's gonna show up to this performance and everything, and like I just feel like there's a lot riding on me in terms of like getting stuff right, and like I don't know, like, you know, like giving a crowd energy, like performance etiquette, that kind of stuff. So like I don't know, do you have any wisdom to share about like what your first experience was like performing and like giving a part of yourself to these people who love you, but like I don't know, there's just like there's so much fear. Yeah,
you know, that was a really pivotal moment in my life, because prior to that I was like a very shy person. I could never imagine myself being on like such a public display and all the lights on you and all the like eyes on me. So it was really nerve-wracking, but like, you know, looking at everyone's like faces and seeing that they were like really, you know, fucking with what I was doing, that just like gave me more confidence, and I started like feeding off of that, and then it kind of just like broke down the barriers just naturally, and I was just like, okay, cool, like let me just keep going. And then I'm doing things that I'm like doing all these dance moves. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, okay, cool. Like, hey, let's keep doing that. And then like, and then it just kind of builds up like naturally. I would say, but just kind of building up to it, you know, just like I feel like preparation is key. If you prepared so much to the point where like you can't forget it even if you wanted to, that'll help you like immensely.
Hours and hours.
Just hours and hours. Because like,
of work
I'll tell you something. We had I think it was like our second live Thursday. We didn't really prepare as much as we should have, and like me especially, it was like during fall break, and there was like I didn't write like 3 songs for like the performance, and I had to write those. I had to like force myself to memorize them. I didn't really prepare as well as I could have, and when we got on the stage, like we were able to mask all the mistakes we made with like energy, but we made so many mistakes. I forgot lyrics. I was like the DJ at the time, and like I had my phone, I was like, I don't remember how the song goes. I was like, what does this say? And then I was like pretending like I was doing something with the knob. I was like, all right, this is how I started. And then like it was crazy, but if I prepared,
you can totally just like
help,
DJs just like touch a knob, and
I know,
people
I hate
go
that.
crazy, and it's like you're not changing.
It's not doing anything.
Not to be a stickler about technique or anything, but
No,
like,
yeah.
you can totally fake that.
I feel like, so I was doing that because I was like, I don't remember my lyrics, and then, you know, but preparation will help you out a lot, and then you'll just feed off the crowd like naturally, and then it just like all those things will come together, and then you'll forget everything, and the fear goes away, and then it's just like this, it's like this beautiful like
Flow.
Yes, it's a flow. It's like a flow, and it's kind of like you're kind of in this like empty space where it's just you and the music, and you're just kind of like, it's like, okay, cool. And then the more that people like it, the more excited you get, and the harder you go, and then it's just like, oh man, this is like this crazy experience. When it's over, it's like bro, like we just did something insane. Like this is incredible, and then you kind of just prepare for the next one. Then the process starts again. I'm still like nervous as fuck because like this April 13th show, because we got other people coming. It's not just us, and I just want to give such a great performance and not let the people down, not let myself down. So just all these expectations and everything. So
Yeah, no, I'm so nervous, but also so excited because like I think the type of music that I make, I feel like you don't really see at Davidson type performances, especially live Thursdays. It's a lot of just like acoustic, like folk music, singer-songwriter type things, and so like I'm not really sure exactly how it's gonna be received. But then I know that like, you know, a lot of people are familiar with the work I do just because of like Instagram and all of that. So yeah, I'm so nervous, but also so excited.
It's gonna be great.
You always got like the element of surprise too, so people are just waiting for that creativity from you to.
Y'all didn't just hear that slight flex though?
I didn't.
We love it though. We love
it.
No, it's actually a little, I don't know, for me at least, because I'm like such an introvert, like it's a little bit uncomfortable to know that like so many people on campus like know what I do. Because like every new thing I post, I'm like, oh my god, like everybody, all my friends see this. Like, I don't know, part of that is just like a little uncomfortable, but I have to embrace it.
Gina's your biggest fan.
I mean,
She's all over your comments.
Gina's the most supportive person in my life, like hands down. But like, just like random people who like names and faces I know, but I've never spoken to before, have come up to me and like, "Are you Motion?" I'm just like,
that's crazy.
I guess so.
Yo,
I don't know. It's a little bit of an adjustment coming back from abroad, but.
Like I remember
That's crazy.
in the beginning of like the whole trilogy, like next level transition. I remember like in the beginning it was like people didn't like they knew of like our rap group, but they didn't know who we were as individuals.
Yeah.
So like if we were together, like oh yeah, next level. But like now it's funny. It's just like I'll meet somebody at a con and be like, oh wait, you're from Trilla G ENT, and I'm like, oh it is.
Yeah,
with our
yeah,
I see people with our shirts on, the old next level shirts. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
that's crazy.
That's probably
I'm still wearing it.
Oh shoot.
I still have that. Yeah,
I still have
it.
Limited edition, never made again.
I think the I Love Union thing is what put us like on the map. Before like everyone kind of knew about us, then they were like, "Whoa, you guys are actually like out here doing this for." I think like people thought this was like a club. Like at first, like when we were like next level, they thought, "Oh yeah, it's like those three guys. They just kind of rap every now and again." But then after each semester and every mixtape, they're like, "Okay, you're really doing this, and you're out here." And now that this is like an official thing, and we got like different artists on the team, like they're taking us more seriously. And now seeing like this last semester has been like really important since we've been getting all these jobs and people are like, yeah, we want to work with you guys, and it's been really great to see like people actually taking us seriously. And because this is not a joke, this is what we're doing for real. This is an actual business and company. This is an artist collective. This is what we do, and we have like the most creative people on this campus on the team making the greatest beats, films, artwork, everything. You know, so respect that. Like for real.
Respect that.
So normally we do Words of Wisdom Wednesday, but like guess on the ending notes, kind of wrap it up. What's like some advice you would send out to the crowd, to the audience that we have today?
Start off.
Yeah, I started off. Thank you, I appreciate it, guys.
Go down directly.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I would say is that once you locate your passion, I wouldn't don't sacrifice that, because it's so easy to get sidetracked by what other people tell you. It's so easy to get discouraged by how far you have to go. But if you stay consistent and dedicated to working and learning, and you just take the moment to pause and look back to see how far you've come, like that's the really empowering thing. And so stay persistent, stay consistent. You know, once you find that passion, just don't let it go. So keep with it.
Thanks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is specifically to like women in art and women in production specifically, because there's very, very few of us. I'd say definitely own what you do. Don't kind of like, oh, like kind of in the middle, like I kind of do this. Like own what you do. Call yourself a producer. Call yourself a filmmaker. Don't say you're an aspiring producer. Don't say you're an aspiring filmmaker. Once you identify yourself as such, you kind of hold yourself to this psychological accountability of meeting those standards that you set for yourself. And especially in the world of production and women, there's not so much visibility out there. There's not so many people where we can say like, oh, this is what a woman producer looks like. This is what I should model myself after. And I'm lucky to have maybe one or two of those in my life that I've gotten to ask for advice. But I know that I might be seen as such for another person. And I think it's way more important to commit to your identity and commit to your specific sound / style / art form than to kind of like be wishy-washy on it. Because like once you have made that decision, everything else comes after inevitably. Like, I think it's just in terms of the language you use to describe yourself in your art form is super important. Like, yeah.
Mine would be like create what is meaningful to you. I learned a lot through Davidson, as Victor Allen has said, that like a lot of art form gets graded, and then like you associate this grade or like this assessment with like everything that you create, like it's like that something isn't part of you. So like and I've learned to kind of take what my professors say with a grain of salt, because art is objective, and especially, and like no matter who looks at it, like regardless of if you know them or not, like someone's gonna find something that they don't like and someone's gonna find something that they love. So regardless, like make something that would, like, after it's all said and done, you decide, I'm not touching this piece of work anymore because it is literally like it is perfect and I could not do anything else to change it. Then like stay with that and believe in that, and like regardless of what anyone has to say about it, like you created that, like that is a piece of you that you've shared with the world, and like believe it and own it and just say like, yeah, like that's mine, and take it or leave it. And like I feel like that mindset is just so huge for like not only being able to go further in your piece of, in like your work, but then also just like finding yourself within your work, and like finding yourself with who you are, and like identifying with what you do and like how you are and just like what you create.
Mine's is pretty short but really meaningful to me. Don't be afraid to experiment with your sound and to have your sound evolve. Something for me that I've noticed is like I'm more inclined to have more melodic and like singy-songy lyrics, or like with like my hooks, but like with these guys like that push me to be the best version of myself, I've noticed that like I have other sides of that style where it's just like pure bars, like just hard hitting, but then I found myself also mixing the two at the same time, and that makes something even like more beautiful. So don't be afraid to experiment with your sounds and explore different like soundscapes, and that's something that we did on Nightmare on your track, because that was probably the most pivotal moment of our, like, I think, relationship as artists and collaborating, because I didn't do my typical style of sing-songy. Like Lawrence actually got on auto-tune, which was like dope and it sounded great, and then Vic started doing his singing thing too. So like that was like complete like topsy-turvy switch of our styles, like stylistically and individually. So don't be afraid to experiment with that and just step out of your comfort zone, you know.
I would say my best advice, kind of related to this theme of embracing your passions and sticking to your own beat, I would say. It's like, remember like what you do in the creative space has no restrictions. Like, be unique, love what you do. You have to believe in yourself first before anybody else can believe in you. And just know that what you do has value, but what you do has meaning, you know. If you want to sit around and examine music and listen to it just for the beat, and you got some deep intellectual understanding of it, that's valuable. Because that's what most of the time we're doing, outside of what we individually do, you know. So just continue to have that passion. Don't let people burn that flame, you know, away. Do what you do. If you need the encouragement, like, hit us up in the DMs on the positive note.
Yeah.
And then we'll respond.
Yeah.
But,
We'll definitely respond.
Absolutely. For me, I would say that you should always strive to do what makes you happy. Happiness is the most important thing in life. For me, I found I used to just like think about things in terms of what other people said that like was the path I should take. They're like, yeah, you should do this, you should do that, but it's like, but did it really make me happy? No, it didn't. But coming here, I realized that, you know, music, film, art, that's what makes me happy, and that's what I want to do with my life. And even if it's not, you know, making a lot of money from the jump, it doesn't matter, because like that's what makes me happy. Life is too short not to do things that don't make you happy. So that's what I'm focused on, and you know, doing stuff like this and coming up with new ideas and writing new songs and making new films and just kind of pushing myself to be the best like artist I could be, and then working with other people who help push me further and learning from them, and even not being able to know what to do and just watching them work. Like, that's what makes me happy, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to do with my life. So I would just say, you know, whatever makes you happy, just do it. Like, don't let your parents like put you down. Don't let your friends put you down. It's like, if that is what truly makes you happy, go after it, go do it. Even if it doesn't work out, at least you tried and figured out. Now you know that doesn't make you happy, so then you could just move on to the next thing, you know. But you have to move and like with that mindset, like, okay, this might make me happy, let me try it. This does make me happy, I want to make a business out of it, because you can do anything you want to do. Like, we just came up with this as like an idea in this basement right here, just like rapping, you know what I mean? It was like should we do it? It was a different basement, but it was, you know, it was like
always
it's always a basement, you know what I mean? We came up with this idea, like we should like rap together, and then this like small idea turned into like this actual company, and brought so many people together, inspired so many people, you know, and it's been great, and we're just doing it. We keep doing more things like this because it makes us happy. So I would say do what makes you happy, and nothing less. And if it just, you know what makes you happy, so go out and go get it.
Everybody point at the camera. You do it.
Do it.
Absolutely.
So I think to wrap up what everybody just said, if they don't believe in your dream, they're not your friends.
Toxic relationships getting
Get rid of
cut in 2019, baby. But
Get
don't
rid
get
of
it twisted. We still get money out here.
Chase
We all
the
get
bag.
money.
We're
Shout out
getting
BB&T.
paid.
That bag chase the
Hey,
bag.
shout out to John.
Shout out
you
John,
said-
man.
John, that boy
Appreciate you,
crazy.
dog.
That
I
boy-
sold 5 beats this month.
What?
Shout out to the 5 of you who thought my music worthy of
Nice.
purchasing.
Get money out here. Money team.
Great, so
Well, cool. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll
been
catch
episode
y'all
3.
On the flip
next
side.
week on whatever podcast, man. Peace.
peace out.
Peace out.
Thank you guys.
Big it.
Big it.